Mornin', mortals of the realm of Terra. I am Servin Mastrov, a creature of Rye, member of the Volkrog clan, but you can have the very great honor of calling me Master Serv. Now, creatures of Rye, let me give you what a creature of Rye is, for those of you who don't know. Basically, it means I'm immortal, and I can shift from a man, like I am now, to a Volkrog, which is a magical creature. Well, I think it's magical, but then again, I'm biased, so with a horn on the side of its protruding out of its forehead, and the rest of the body looks like a wolf. Just look like a wolf. So please pardon me if I go how. Comes with habit. I've been a creature of Rye for so long that I'm just naturally a Volkrog in all aspects of my personality. And today I have the very great privilege of reading for you the first chapter, or as much of it as I can get through in 10 minutes, of Captain Hook, Villain or Victim by Ellwyn Autumn. Chapter 1. From the Journal of David J. Lockett. Now, I must say here that I am very much so not familiar with Ellwyn Autumn's works, so I don't know anything about this story. I don't know anything about what she means by her version of Captain Hook. Now, I know who Captain Hook is in the John Barry sense, because Mr. Meservey, James Meservey, the guy who does my biography on the guy who wrote my biography, and I Am Master Serv, that dude, he had me read it as kind of a prequel to who Captain Hook is, so I can have a little bit of a sense. But anyway, I'm rambling and I only have 8 minutes left. So from the journal, so let's start that again. Captain Hook, Villain or Victim, by Ellwyn Autumn, Chapter 1, from the Journal of David J. Lockett. Would you believe me if I told you that I met the most notorious pirate that ever lived, the scallywag of scallywags, the only buccaneer Blackbeard himself feared, and that I survived to tell a tale? If you don't believe me, listen to my story and see if I can convince you of its veracity. Even if you do not believe me, you must listen to the tale, for I'm sure you will learn things that you have never imagined. It all started one fine morning in early April 1913. I remember it quite clearly. Despite a slight nip in the air, the sun was chasing away the last tendrils of stubborn fog that hovered over London like slow-moving phantoms. In a steady ebb, the unwanted spectres dissolved, sunlight piercing through their opaque bodies until they dissipated. A vibrant blue sky emerged. It was the first day at my uncle's accounting firm. That morning I was wearing my favorite new bowler hat and was fastening the buttons on my coat when a plucky little rascal began beckoning to his classmates to wait for him. Streaking across my path, he nearly collided with me. Luckily, my impeccable balance saved us both from a terrible spill. I happen to know for a fact that James doesn't have impeccable balance, so he would have just landed right on top of the kid. That's why I laughed. Oh, don't worry. I would have stood up there in Rye, looked down on the scene happening here in Terra, and laughed hysterically at him because, he's clumsy. Oh, back to the story. I say, young man, I admonished him, readjusting my own hat, slow down. A tattered book tucked under his arm. The lad spun around, his legs pumping for all they were worth, and he gave me the briefest of glances. Sorry, sir, he shouted before completing his dizzy rotation and falling into line with the boys who walked several paces ahead of us. Hey, lads, guess what? The boys, steadfast in their march toward school, barely acknowledged their younger boy who'd barreled into their midst. Guess what? He repeated. I told you I was right about Captain Hook. A jeering round of laughter broke out among the group. Much too intent on proving his point, the boy ignored the jibe. Me dad heard me and another man talking about Hook at the Lair pubs last night, he said. Not that again, Jojo, a dark-haired boy said. Everybody knows that only barons and those addle-brained darlings believe in Captain Hook. Mr. Barry believed in him, Jojo said. He wrote the book about Peter Pan. Hey, that's the book I read. You mean that fairy tale he wrote? You're as fuddled as your dad." Another rousing chorus of laughter broke out among the group, prompting Jojo's foot to stall. Head hanging, he fell behind the rowdy band, dragging his boots across the cobblestones. I felt a certain sympathy for Jojo. As a young lad, I had also been ostracized by people because I voiced my fantastical notions. Most of them still thought I was a madman for taking an annual holiday to visit Ireland in search of leprechauns. I haven't found one yet, but I most certainly shall one day. Leprechauns, leprechauns. Do I know any leprechauns? I know of them, but I don't visit the realm of the light, or I never visited the realm of the light while it was still in its mortal form, and I don't visit your realm, the realm of Terra, very often, so I don't think I've had many opportunity to run into leprechauns. But Kestrel has, and she tells me that let's just say they're fun. Jojo's plight, though quite sad, turned out to be a most fortuitous opportunity for me. It seemed almost providential that this high-spirited boy had chosen the exact same route as me to walk to school. It was a sign that I should change my career from accountant's apprentice to journalist. Ooh, ambitious man. Some of you may think that is rather abrupt. Never fear, dear reader. I am something of a Renaissance man. My ability to flitter from one job to the next without any related experience is renowned in this part. Yes, I could see it all quite clearly. I, David J. Locke, would seek out Captain Hook, conduct the interview of a lifetime, and become an immediate sensation. First things first, of course. Before I could begin my investigation, I had to speak with young Master Jojo and discover the whereabouts of the infamous pirate captain. My fingers itching to transcribe the lad's account, I approached him and saw that his eyes were glistening with unshed tears. "I say there, Jojo, don't let those hooligans get you down. No one ever believes me." He looked at a loose stone and watched its progression across the street. With a loud clacking sound, the stone bounced off the wheel of a passing bread cart and was lost from sight. I inhaled the fresh scents of yeast and dough drifting from the cart, and my stomach reminded me that I had not had breakfast yet. I disregarded the sensation and focused on the matter at hand. "I believe you." Skeptical at first, Jojo's eyes were slow to light up, a small grin plucking at the corners of his mouth. "You do? Of course. You seem like an honest fellow." Let me check my time. Oh, I still have 2 minutes. Let's see how much further we can get. Warming to my sincerity, Jojo gave me an eager nod, his grin widening. "Oh, I'm very honest, sir. I'm the only one in the whole world who's ever had to do lines for lying to the teacher." Splendid. I'm the only one who's never had to do lies for lying to the teacher. Sorry, I misread that. He never did lines. Splendid. The sun warming us, we resumed our trek toward the school. "So tell me your story of Captain Hook." Jojo's eyes turned serious. "It's no story, sir. It's a rumor." "Quite so. Go on." Well, I would consider a rumor to be... Never mind, I'm running out of time. "Me dad heard that there was a great hullabaloo at Kensington Gardens the other night. A constable arrested a man who was running about waving a butterfly net." Jojo proceeded to do wonderful impersonations of someone swinging a butterfly net while he spoke. "The man was yelling that he was trying to catch fairies for Captain Hook." My breath lodged in my chest. "Indeed. Did the man say anything else?" Jojo gave a solemn nod. "He said Hook is alive. He survived the crocodile attack?" "Oh, I remember the crocodile attack." "Aye, extraordinary. Did he say where Hook was?" "He's living in Madagascar." Madagascar? Middle of... Wow. For the briefest of moments I was unsure. Like everyone else, I had read Mr. Barry's account of the Darling's adventures in Neverland. I had participated in lengthy debates about the book's credibility. How could you not? The excerpt of the poor boy losing his shadow in the nursery was quite convincing to me. I lost my shadow once. Of course, I believed that Peter Pan visited small children in our world and lured them to Neverland. Oh, he sounds nefarious. The questions nagging at me. How did Cook survive the crocodile attack? Did the captain really come here, or was he an imposter? And then finally, why would the captain come here? And unfortunately, I'm out of time, so you're going to have to go look it up and finish the first chapter for yourself. I had a wonderful time doing this, and I hope you take the time and opportunity to learn more about Ellwyn Autumn's books. You can find the link to Captain Hook, at least the ones that I'm able to find, in the comments. And have a wonderful day, my dear Terrans.